Hi everyone, my name is Leitão. I'm a researcher at CIBIO BIOPOLIS in Portugal, and today I will be talking about our work entitled Sex, Social Signaling, and Personality Interact to Shape Foraging Strategies in a Songbird. In social living animals, individuals can obtain food either through their own effort, foraging performance, or by adopting alternative group tactics, such as using individual knowledge as a producer or exploiting social information as a scrounger. These strategies are often linked to life history traits and shaped by individual traits and social context. However, few studies have simultaneously examined foraging performance and foraging tactics and how these two dimensions interact with individual traits. So the objective of this work was to investigate how individual traits, specifically sex, coloration, and personality, are related to foraging performance and the use of foraging strategies across different social contexts. Our study species was the European serin, Serinus. The serin is a sexually dichromatic finch that forages in groups. Both sexes display carotenoid-based yellow coloration, and specifically in this work, we used 34 wild-caught females and males that were kept in captivity during the experiments. We first measured the plumage reflectance of the individuals using a spectrophotometer, and we then summarized the reflectance spectra and calculated a chromatic index of plumage reflectance. We then conducted a series of standardized behavioral assays to assess personality traits, including the tonic immobility, the mirror test, and the new object. All tests were conducted over 2 rounds. Of all personality tests, only the new object was found to have consistent individual differences across rounds and was then used in further analysis. The foraging setup consisted of a table with 16 holes where we tested individuals alone and with a social partner. In all trials, individuals were food deprived for 2 hours prior to testing, and in the first trial, all holes were filled with seeds to help the birds to get used to the setup. In the following trials, only 4 holes were filled. After habituation, individuals performed a foraging test in solitary contexts to measure foraging performance, and for this we used latency to find the first hole containing seeds as an indicator of foraging performance. In social contexts, same-sex pairs were formed based on coloration, and we quantified each bird foraging tactic using a producer strategy index indicating the tendency of an individual to find the food versus to join others. Going for the results. When examining individual foraging performance across both solitary and social contexts, we found that more colorful individuals tended to perform better under solitary conditions, while less colorful individuals tended to excel in social conditions. Boldness also influenced foraging in a sex-specific manner, with bolder males and shyer females locating the food faster. In social foraging contexts, less colorful males were more likely to adopt the producer strategy, while females showed the opposite trend. Additionally, individual foraging tactics were influenced by the boldness of their companions, where females paired with bolder partners were less likely to adopt the producer strategy, while in males the opposite pattern was observed. So overall, our research shows how individual traits influence foraging performance and strategies in the European serin. Depending on their sex, personality type, and social context, individuals may have different foraging performances and adopt different foraging tactics. These results highlight how sex and foraging ability reflect different life history strategies that together help explain phenotypic variability. Such variation may allow individuals to adopt different strategies depending on their social context, dominance hierarchies, and environmental conditions. And with that, I would like to thank my collaborators and co-authors, Caterina Funghi and Paulo Mota. And if you'd like to learn more about my work, ongoing projects, or student openings, please visit my website's team and feel free to contact us. Thank you for listening.